segmentation. This slide shows you how the foreground from the background has been segmented. The edges has been marked clearly. This is what we have to extract the foreground from the background. Okay. The goal of this segmentation is that we are supposed to group together similar looking pixels for efficiency of further processing. These are called superpixels. We are supposed to group them all together to perform segmentations. This is a bottom-up process and this is an unsupervised process. The goal of segmentation is to separate the images into a coherent objects. In order to do this, we can follow either a bottom-up or a top-down process. It shows you the human segmentation of the original images. So, if you are choosing a bottom-up or a top-down or a supervised or unsupervised, depends on this. You can easily separate the foreground images from the background image and the separate images into a coherent objects. We have some inspirations from psychology from J.R. Jelstrid School. Grouping is a key of a visual perception. For example, Muller layer illusion. We have the closed brackets has been grouped together and the open bracket has been grouped together. We are using segmentation as a clustering. For example, we are clustering only the similar pixels or the features together. Here we are merging RGB pixels together. How amount of R, G and B components which is present over here. Since the background is more grassy, we have a green component more when compared to R and B. In this, we are using a K-means clustering based on intensity or color, which is essentially for vector quantization of the image attribute. In this cluster, don't have to be spatially coherent. For example, we have original images of some vegetables. In intensity base, we have identifying only the intensity in grayscale images. Then in color based coherent, we are extracting the edges in the original images. The edges of the vegetables in the original images has been cleanly mentioned as a color based clusters. Clustering similar pixels and features. Here we have added x and y coordinates. So based on the RGB and XY values, we are enforced more spatial coherences. For this vegetables in the color images, we have got this. For K-means for segmentation, we have some pros, very simple method. It can easily converge to a local minimum to the error function. Some cons are is a memory intensive. We need to pick K. Also, it's sensitive to initialization. It's sensitive to the outliers. In this, we have two conditions for the outliers. One is the undesirable cluster and the next one is the ideal cluster. If it is an ideal cluster, we can easily identify the shape and size of the cluster where the images are outliers present in the clusters. Also, it only finds spherical clusters. This is a mean shift clustering and segmentation. It's an advanced and versatile technique for a clustering based segmentation. Here we have two landscapes. One is the landscape which is present in the sea, and the next one, there is the landscape and there is the sea inside the landscape. There are two different scenarios of segmentation, but both have a landscape and the water. The first shows landscape in water, the second shows water in the landscape. This is the Schiffman algorithm for the house entrance images. In this, the mean shift algorithm seeks the mods and local maximum minimum of the density in the feature shapes. Here we are using the feature shapes of L star, U star, V star color values to identify the local maxima of density in the feature shape sum. This is a mean shift. We are starting the search window. We are identifying the center of mass. Once the center of mass has been identified, the mean shift vector has been communicated from the search window to the center of mass. Then the search window has been moved to the center of mass. Now the center of mass will act as a search window. Then the center of mass is identified. It has been moved. Like this, it can be moved until all the nodes in the images and all the pixels in the images have been identified by the mean shift. Once it's identified, it can easily move since it has many clusters of images. It can move as it is. Mean shift clustering. Generally, clustering means all the data points in the attraction basin of the mode. These data points have been clustered together to form an attraction basin, where the attraction basin is a region for which all the trajectories leads to a same mode. For example, the first image, it shows you all these strategies are leads to a same mode. It forms the attraction basin inside and in the center of the image. It forms a cluster of all the data points in the attraction basin of a mode to form a mean shift clustering. Also, this mean shift clustering to segmentation. We have to find the features of what the color, gradient and texture of the images. These are the features we can consider while performing this mean shift clustering or segmentation. We are supposed to initialize a window at individual feature points. Then we can perform a mean shift for each and every window until it converges. One convergence, you can stop. Finally, we can merge the windows that ends up to the same peak or a same mode. If you are trying the same peak or a same mode, we can stop over there. This shows you the results of the images like the entrance of the house and the mountain. This shows you the results of different landscapes and water. That shows you the table and chair inside the home and one natural scenario. Let us discuss about the mean shift pros and cons. First, advantages. Don't assume spherical clusters. Just a single parameter window size is enough to find the variable number of modes. It's robust to the outliers. Even though it has pros, it has some other cons. The first one is the output depends on the window size. It's computationally expensive. We don't scale well with the dimension of the feature space. Let us meet in the next class. Thank you.